Hi Mucker, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Okay, hi, we are not in my normal location whatsoever, and we have a weird light right now because my light that I'm using for this video, believe it or not, is just a white screen on my TV. I am back home right now, and I have been traveling non-stop. I just got home. I came back to Ireland, and I am still on an all-nighter from yesterday, so I think the last time I slept was close to like 42 hours ago or something like that. So a little bit insane right now, a little bit insane. I was about to go to bed, you know, I'm just getting settled here. And I apologize for, you know, the way my setup is right now. I just wasn't anticipating that drama was going to happen. I have videos pre-filmed. There was a lot that happened this week that I needed to get to. And I'm still going to get to them. But in the meantime, something very unpredictable has happened. And Trisha Paytas has now apologized to Ethan. And I have thoughts. It has not went down how I thought it was going to go down. I thought this was going to be an absolute shit show. I thought it was going to be the worst video ever. I thought it was going to be another attempt by Trisha to try get some good publicity or any publicity. I actually think this is a good video from Trisha. I really do have to say that. So I have a bunch of notes here that I really just want to get to show you, and my opinion on this video, it is a 39-minute long video, so nearly 40 minutes. Like, again, we really have progressed past the need for all of these YouTubers to be doing videos that are longer than 20 minutes, in my opinion. Watch now, this video will be longer than 20 minutes. Also, Go below. This is not sponsored or anything. My famous birthdays is linked below. Please go and just click boost because I'm trying to get #1 in Derry. Come on, I'm back home in Derry now. It feels right that I should be the #1 person in Derry. It's so stupid. I feel like it's foot soldiers, you know, with like Ethan and H3. Okay, so let's get into what Trisha is saying. So it has been maybe 3 weeks since the drama has happened, and this is the first time that we're really seeing Trisha apologize to Ethan. They have talked how they don't think that they need to apologize to Ethan. They've apologized to the crew in the past. They've apologized to PLEA. But they said that they also believe that Ethan was in the wrong. This has been from like 3 weeks ago now until now. The opinion really hasn't changed. Now, on every single social media, Trisha has been getting bombarded comments with apologize to Ethan. Where's your apology? Where's your apology? And we've done videos in which Trisha has been like, I don't need to apologize to Ethan. Like, why would I apologize to Ethan? You know, he needs to apologize to me, and we're both in the wrong, and we're both toxic, and people don't want to see that he's toxic, and blah, 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 blah. So we've been seeing this from Trisha. Now it seems like Trisha has done a full turnover and is doing an apologies to Ethan, and it is actually good. I know people are going to be jumping on this and hating on it because it's Trisha and not wanting to believe it, and it's too late, and a lot of people are saying as well that we don't know what's happened behind the scenes, so how can we accept a public one? Guys, let's honestly, people were begging Trisha to do an apology and do a genuine apology, and it seems like they've actually done one, so let's actually hear it out before we start attacking, because then we're never going to get the resolution and the finale of this H3 Frenemies drama that we so desperately are trying to get to, because it seems that it just every single day there's more and more and more, right? Okay, so here is some of the notes that I took. So Trisha starts the video by saying that they've been neglecting personal care, and they're also on a new medication, and this is like a 6-week process. They're on the 6 weeks right now, and that they shouldn't have been posting on social media. But they weren't doing this as an excuse. I do just want to say that it didn't come across as Trisha doing this as like, you know, I'm on medication, this is my excuse. It was Trisha being like, yes, I'm in the wrong, I am on new medication, I was told not to be posting online and not to be online because, you know, I'm adjusting to new medication and I'm going through all of these things. And they said that I didn't abide by that and I should have taken time off instead of being online, and they're sorry for that. So, pretty good start. Then it goes on and it says that they've said that this video is for Ethan and it's something that they needed to do. And that Ethan is very group oriented, and, you know, Trisha appreciates that a lot. And it's up to him and the team whether they choose to accept their apology, and that they're not necessarily anticipating that Ethan is going to be jumping to accept it. However, they still feel like at this stage they need to make this apology, which again, whenever your entire comment section is being flooded with apologize to Ethan, I think I would agree that I would want to apologize to Ethan as well, regardless of how I truly felt. Trisha then says that they want to talk quick and get things over and done with, and very snap, fast pace, you know, doing something, apologizing, moving on, back again, doing that. And Trisha agrees and acknowledges that that's not how most people act, and that it's unreasonable for them to expect Ethan to also, you know, have a fight, be okay, come back again. Have a fight, be okay, come back again. And that everyone isn't so fast-paced as Trisha is, and that people think about things more than they do in terms of certain situations. And again, a very good point that we're definitely seeing that applies to Trisha. And then they go on and they say the following. So they say that they agreed that it's the final straw because there's only so much back and forth that you can do in terms of frenemies. And now this is true. There's only so many times that Trisha can walk out. Trisha comes back the next week. Trisha walks out. Trisha comes back 3 weeks time. So if Frenemies was to come back, and I want to know what your opinion is on whether you think it is, it would be like 4 weeks after. I don't know if Ethan wants Frenemies back though, because the families with his mum did really well. Who knows? Maybe Ethan will accept the apology and want a more professional relationship, or maybe they're just going to keep it personal relationship. I think that would probably be the smartest thing for both of them. Okay. Then it goes on and it says that Trisha says that they're really stubborn and that they don't want to be the person that holds on to stuff even though they acknowledge that that's all they have been recently. So there is a lot of parts in this video that isn't at all what we're normally seeing from Trisha. And again, it's like 4 weeks after, so it's well overdue, and it's probably at this stage something that Trisha can easily make a video like this about because everyone's telling them what they want to hear. But again, people were complaining that Trisha wasn't owning up to anything, and this video was not a distraction. This video was not going in any different direction other than Trisha being like, here's what I did that was wrong, here's also what I did that was wrong, here's what I did that was interpreted wrong, however, I still did it and therefore it was wrong. And now again, Trisha only a couple weeks ago was doing all these exposed videos on Ethan and switching up and switching up. Again, we take it all, or at least I do, at face value because it's so flip-floppy with everyone involved, Ethan too. But at this stage, people were asking for a genuine apology, and it seems like we're actually hearing one. And then I have a timestamp here, 5:59, that I'm going to get to. I have 2 timestamps that I want to show you, so let's get to that. So, 5:59, I want to know where you're at right now with the apology right off the bat. Again, this is a 40-minute long video. I have watched so many Trisha Paytas videos recently so that I can do summaries for you. Just know that this is a lot of Trisha that I've been watching recently. So here's a little timestamp I want to show you.
You know what I mean?
Oh, sorry, it's already in 2x speed because, yes, I do watch Trisha's videos on 2x speed, and it's hard. You know, it's hard on normal speed, so imagine on 2x.
All that to say is I'm really sorry. I hope Ethan watches this. He doesn't watch my long videos. He usually gets them summarized. But if you see just this little clip, I'm very sorry, Ethan, for breaking your trust. Because I think that is, you know, I rehash things, right? I wear makeup, so I don't want to cry. I'm pretty strong. I cry when I'm overwhelmed with emotion. But, you know, I know the main thing was when I tweeted, I screenshotted his text and showed them on Twitter, which ultimately ended up just exposing myself. So I wasn't thinking in the moment, obviously, because it showed me making some distasteful jokes. And I apologize for those jokes. I had no malice, evil, or hateful intent with them, but they're still nasty, and I'm still...
That was the disgusting Jewish jokes that Trisha was making that we've already went in on them for, that were so disgusting as it is. And again, people were asking Trisha to address that, and it seems like Trisha has now. And it's interesting because in the past, Trisha has said what we just heard, and they've also been like, okay, but Ethan has also done this. For example, you know, Trisha is now taking full ownership for starting it, and, you know, in terms of posting text messages and stuff. A couple days ago, Trisha was saying, yeah, well, Ethan posted text messages as well. So it seems like, hopefully, we're moving in a better direction in terms of Trisha online, but again, only time will tell. I want to know where you're at with it. So again, Trisha apologizes for, you know, showing the text and the distasteful, I would say racist, but distasteful jokes. And they say that they ultimately expose themselves, which we just heard. They say that they love Ethan and that they really look at Ethan like a friend, truly a good friend. And that Ethan is a very different person off camera. And he's very calm and nothing matters that much to him, and he's able to like de-escalate a lot of situations, which Trisha really values, and obviously not having that around has been something that hasn't been helpful for them, because, you know, whenever you don't have someone there who's able to de-escalate situations, which we're aware live on air, we've seen Ethan does really well with Trisha. Trisha's, I think, struggling with that. Time will tell as well about that. Okay, so then Trisha says that the show was and always will be great in terms of frenemies. They said that in time they hope they can communicate with Ethan again and that they're sorry for the communication, lack thereof, with Ethan on their behalf. So again, taking ownership for the communication. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, I'm so like, how do they expect to do all these exposed videos then expect us to take them seriously with an apology video? I completely get that, right? And I want to come at this from a neutral point of view. However, I don't know what people want from Trisha necessarily, because people are like, oh, like, if they've made up their mind they don't like Trisha, great, good for you. But you're like, you need to apologize to Ethan. Now we're seeing an actual, from what I can interpret, a genuine apology to Ethan for many things. And so I don't know necessarily from this what the next step is that people would want. I personally am hoping that they're sorting it out behind the scenes as opposed to publicly, but we don't know and let's not speculate on that. So from what we're seeing, it's what people have been asking for. So we'll see. Then it goes on, Trisha apologizes for not being open and addressing what upset them with Ethan, so taking ownership for being triggered by things that Ethan said because they did not warn Ethan that they did not like it, made them uncomfortable. So they're taking full ownership for that as well, that, you know, it's their, you know, it's on them for not clearing what was and what wasn't okay to joke with Ethan, which was a big thing that Trisha was attacking Ethan for. So then Trisha goes on to say that they just should have texted Ethan with what was upsetting them. Trisha says that they never want to come across ungrateful and therefore, because of this, neglected opening up to Ethan, but it's not an excuse. Trisha says that they're so grateful for the team's hard work, and by doing their own podcast, Trisha had their own podcast a couple years back, and they did all the work. They understand how much work it is, and therefore they would never want to discredit the team. They're very grateful for the team's hard work, and again, they're praising how hard the team work, how diligent they are with their work, and it's much appreciated. So after that, they go on and they say, it's a big thing that Trisha's saying that they are apologizing for breaking trust. And I think that's actually something very interesting to be apologizing for that we haven't really heard in the YouTube space, is I'm sorry for breaking trust. It's normally like, I'm sorry you were offended. Not really, I'm sorry for breaking trust. It's interesting, we haven't heard this one before. Okay, I have another timestamp to show you here.
He changed tremendously. And so we both were kind of like these problematic people. I think I was looked at a little more problematic because I do
not the Jack and Jill
first, and I am emotional, and I look a little more chaotic than
I guess you could say that.
Than most people online.
I guess you could say that.
So, you know, I was grateful, and I
spit it out. Come on, spit it out.
I really just apologize the most for breaking trust, and
good point.
That's the worst. Sorry, I'm stuttering now.
Spit it out, come on.
And this is something maybe you should have called or like. There's so many times. There's every day I'm like, I should be like, can we talk? But when you're the one that's in the wrong, me in the situation, it's harder. It's harder to be like, let's talk. Because you're the one that caused the hurt and the wound and the infliction, and so
yes, you could say that.
You have to wait for that to heal. You don't want to.
Okay, so interesting point that Trisha's saying that they would feel uncomfortable reaching out privately continuously whenever they were the one that did the hurt. So again, it's whatever you interpret that with then making a public video. They talk about how, you know, okay. They talk about that in terms of reaching out to Ethan privately and how the show operated very well when it did. I've made it very clear that I've said that I'm okay with Frenemies not coming back because it's just too toxic, and there never seemed to, even up until this point, be a case where Trisha ever acknowledged, you know, that sometimes it wasn't Trisha and Ethan, sometimes it was just Trisha, and it's okay to admit that. And I was like, it's just too toxic for a never-ending cycle of, you know, who's in the wrong and who's in the wrong and Ethan's in the wrong and no, Ethan's wrong. It seems like this was a breaking point. Trisha has never received this amount of hate online. Well, I mean, probably. Yeah, probably. But very much so, from going to being absolutely loved to being the most hated person online. Trisha's experienced that within the past couple of weeks because of how they've acted, and it could have been a wake-up call. I don't know. It's just, again, up to whatever your opinion is on the full, do you want to see Frenemies come back? Do you think they're at a stage where in a while they'll be able to come back? Like, how will you react with the show moving forward? I want to know where you're at with it. I really do. Okay, so I have some final points here. Trisha says that they're always doing the most and ready for the next project, and it's overwhelming to others, and they acknowledge that, and they agree that, you know, sometimes they can be a bit too much, which is what they were to Ethan, and that they hope that at least they can get back to doing family gatherings and stuff in the future. And again, a big part of this video wasn't Trisha being like, I want to get back to Frenemies, which was very interesting, which we've seen in the past. You know, I'm ready to get back to work. It was, I want to heal the family. I want to, you know, I've done all this to the family. I've broken this. I've fucked this up. You know, I want to get to a stage where we feel comfortable being at a family gathering again. And again, this is a public video, so take it what you will. It's not a private statement. And again, we wouldn't see it if it was. But definitely what people have been asking for, so Trisha has been listening. So then they apologized to the staff again, and the hardest pill to swallow was that they disrespected the cast and crew because Trisha would pride themselves on being so good to staff in their own productions. And then they say that their final apology is to PLEA for calling her horrible names that Ethan brought up, and they acknowledge now that obviously wounds are still there, and they're sorry again for saying all that and the explosive episodes and name calling and just bitching about PLEA. They're very sorry to PLEA, and that they're really embarrassed because PLEA has always been so nice to Trisha and allowed Trisha around, you know, their kid and their family, and Trisha's very grateful for that. And Trisha says, in ending off the video, that they're just not trying to embarrass Moses, and it's just not easy, all of this happening. And they're also sad because they have all of Ethan's birthday presents, and they're thinking of doing a video opening up the presents on camera, because they're, you know, if Ethan doesn't want them, they have them all designed and kind of show everyone, which was kind of a sad point to end it on, but it's like, you did this, like, but the point about PLEA was very valid. The point about Moses, finally, we're seeing that, and not Trisha and Moses making a shady ass like Q&A video, like shit talking, you know, both of them. This is what people have been asking for, and I'm really interested to hear what the comment section is like. This video is being more well received than any Trisha video recently. Honestly, people have been asking for this, and Trisha did everything people wanted in this, if we're just focusing on this, so I don't know moving forward what people are gonna want. Do I think it was a good apology? In parts, yeah. In parts, yeah. One of the best we've ever seen from Trisha, and there's been a lot. There's been a lot. So, I want to know where you're at with it. It'll be interesting what happens moving forward. Who knows? I love you. I will see you in my next one. Stay safe, stay well, and yeah. This is never going to end, isn't it? This is we live in a loop. And Frenemies is the loop. The puppet masters are Trisha and Ethan. So bye, I'll see you in my next one, bye.